How's it going, all you Minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today I get to take a first look at 3 new graphic novels coming out from Vault Comics in late May and early June of 2023. So, join me for my overview. This video is sponsored by Vault Comics, so thank you to the folks at Vault Comics for sending us advanced copies of all 3 of these graphic novels. So 2 of these are due out at the end of May, and 1 of them is due out in June. I'll be doing an overview, so you will be checking out the artwork with me like I normally do. And no spoilers, but I do want to kind of give you the pitch and show off the art and, of course, the build of these books. So all 3 of these are new. And the very first one I want to talk about is going to be the End After End. But before I go any further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. All that helps with our YouTube algorithm and our channel keep growing. And thank you to the folks that have shared our videos. All right, let's take a closer look here at End After End. Kicking off the advanced overviews is End After End, Volume 1, The Moment of Your Death, written by David Andre and Tim Daniel, and drawn by Sunando C. This book comes out on May 31st. So here is the book and the spine right there, and then the back of the book. By the way, I did not read the back because I went completely blind into each of these 3 books. I love doing that, but I understand there's a lot of people that don't, so that's why I'm here to explain what this is, the premise. So I love the fact that they credit Sunando C first, who is the artist. Then you have the 2 writers, Tim Daniel and David Andre. Over here on the left-hand side, you have Jim Campbell's lettering, and then the colors are done by Kurt Michael Russell, who also does the art assist. And Vault Comics presents up there. The series covers are done by Sunando C and Lianka Kangas. So with this one here, like I said, I didn't read the synopsis or what this was about, but I was hooked with the first 3 pages, and I'll tell you why. So here you meet this gentleman. This is Walter Willem, and he's taking a picture of what I thought was a bug until I gave it a second read-through. So I reread it, and it turns out to be a kite up in the air. He's taking his cell phone out, he's backing up, as we all do, to take a picture. He slips and falls and looks like he's about to get hit by a train. But the next thing we know, he wakes up and he is in the middle of this battle, and it looks like it's a battle filled with fantasy creatures, giant bugs, people that were taken out of different timelines on Earth, and this is where the madness begins. So you are just as lost as the main character. He wonders where he is, and all they have to know is that they have to survive. They have to follow the Katha, and this is this beautiful young lady right there, and they have to protect her no matter what. That's what they need to do. Now, through his journey, he finds out that there are these demons in this particular world, that this is the world that is in between worlds, if you will. This is what happens after you die, but before you die forever, whatever that may mean. And I was just hooked with the premise. This is an adult fantasy about a guy that's completely lost, and you get flashbacks through here. You get flashbacks about his life, what kind of kid he was, how he wanted to become an artist, and his parents pressured him into doing something successful for his life, because they just didn't think there was any money in art. So within the first 5 issues, you get to learn more about him. But he's not the only character that is through these pages. This is Stills right here, who he saves at one point, and then Stills returns the favor. He is being mentored by Grinks right here. Grink is a character that has been there, that seems to be the longest, and he's greeting all the humans, and maybe not just humans, that appear through this particular world. And you don't know who to trust exactly, because you don't know who's in it for personal gain. And the big question is, how do you get out of here? Can you go back to the land of the living? It kind of reminded me a little bit of Gaunt's, especially the way the main character, I can say, maybe dies at the beginning. And then does this character stand up and become a complete badass warrior that you kind of expect him to become in a very stereotypical way stories are done? But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go that route. I really enjoyed this one. This was a page turner. I had to stop and make a video in between issues here, and I could not wait to get to it. But I thoroughly enjoyed this one, and that's all I will say about it. The flashbacks really do help flesh out the character, and I hope we have flashbacks of the other characters that appeared through here. And what exactly is Katha? Why are they following her? And what is the end after the end? Like, what happens? What do you mean you die? Now, all the way in the back is where you're going to find the covers. And they do credit the cover artist right there. So there's all 5 covers. And then this is by Kangas doing the cover art for another issue number 1, or I guess the variant of number 1. And coming soon, part 2, End After End. The end after end never ends. I love that. This book retails for $19.99, and it has 136 pages. Also coming out on May 31st is The Blue Flame, the complete series by Christopher Cantwell and Adam Gorham. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know the name Christopher Cantwell. Everything he's written, whether it was Doom or Iron Man, I've always spoken highly of him. This right here was a book that I did not want to put down. I didn't want it to end. And it's hard to talk about these books. By the way, here's the credits. Christopher Cantwell writing it, Adam Gorham drawing the book, the colors is Kurt Michael Russell, and then the lettering by Hassan Dismane Elbcrow. So Vault Comics presents The Blue Flame here. I love this almost pulp hero type of introduction here. I didn't know what to expect with this one. When I first started reading it, we meet the character of the Blue Flame. He's going out in the space. You see him passing Saturn, and he's falling, and he gets taken hostage by these group of creatures right here. So you know that he's up in space, and I really didn't know what to expect from this particular story. So they take him to a trial because he is being judged. He meets this character named Yerix right here, and this right here, this trio of characters is the tribunal consensus, and they are judging not him but humanity, the planet Earth. So then we get what I thought was a flashback of him waking up one day, and he's a repairman, and he's just going in there to repair a heating unit, and he just seems like an all-around good guy. So we find out that this character, Sam Brossom, is the Blue Flame, who's a vigilante. Now, he's not alone because he has a group of other vigilantes that he fights crimes with. And they're not superheroes. Like, there's no secret serum to them that makes them super powerful or bulletproof or able to leap tall buildings or fly. They actually make their costumes, and somebody actually figured out how to make them fly using these jetpacks and then wrist bracelets. Then we meet this character of Dee right here, and Dee just found out that she's pregnant with Mateo's kid. Now, we don't know what that has to do with anything, and I'm just going to give you the quick premise of issue 1 to kind of give you an idea how all this comes together. So here are his team members: Thea, Swiftbird, The Feet, and Crimson Visage. And together, they're going to go and not fight crime today, but they're actually going to a signing and photo op. So people want to meet them because they've become popular. And unfortunately, there is a mass shooting at this photo op where he himself gets hurt and his team members get killed. Then you see this right here, which you don't know if it's a flashback, if it's a flash forward. When exactly is this taking place? Because he's waking up and Yerix is still talking about judging him. And you find out that the girl that was pregnant, Dee, is actually his sister. And they have this issue with his parents' house. And oh my gosh, how does it all tie to this big trial that they're judging Earth for? And why him? Why, of all people, Sam? Why the Blue Flame? It's not like he was a real superhero, right? Why did he decide to become a superhero? So they've kind of given him a question. He has to answer this question, and he himself is representing Sam. He is his own lawyer, and he's representing Earth. this book just, I couldn't put it down and I did not want it to end. When it ended, I thought, oh my gosh, there's so much more. And that's all I will say about it. That's pretty much the premise of issue 1. And even that I think is too much. Every year I do my top 10 favorite reads of 20, whatever the year is, whatever year we're in. This definitely made it up there to my top 10. So I guess we'll see by the end of the year if I still feel the same. All the way in the back is where you're going to find the covers, and they're textless covers with the exception of up there. So this book collects all 10 issues of The Blue Flame, and it has 256 pages and retails for $19.99. So here's the back of the book, and then the spine right there for everybody. And that is The Blue Flame, the complete series. The last book we're going to be taking a look at today is Mindset, the complete series, written by Zach Kaplan and drawn by John Pearson. This book is due out on June 7th of this year. Mindset. This is the complete series. And this is written by Zach Kaplan. John Pearson is the artist. Hassan Otsmane Elou is the letterer. And Jimmy Savage is the artist. Vault Comics presents. This one here retails for $19.99 as well. And it has 184 pages. And this collects all 6 issues of Mindset. So what exactly is Mindset about? Well, out of all the 3 books that I got, this one feels like it's the scariest and the thing that could actually happen, like potentially happen. And I'll explain why in a little bit, even though it's a little bit confusing, so stick with me. So we meet the character of Ben Sharp right here. And Ben Sharp is being tried for or he's being arrested because the investigators are telling him that he is the one that killed Peter Winfield. He threw him into the water after hitting him with a champagne bottle. And all he keeps saying was like, it wasn't me. They were like, but we have witnesses. And it was you. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Somebody else was controlling my body. So we get a little bit of a flashback as to what exactly he's talking about. So him and a group of friends are all sitting around college campus. They're in their early 20s or 20 years old, really. So it's Ben and Eitan, who you'll meet here in a little bit, and the character of Kushal and Josiah. So these 4 friends are trying to get this app off the ground. They're trying to get this app that pretty much replaces social media apps, and it stops kind of telling you what to do. There are flashbacks here of his family, how they were the not perfect family behind the photographs that were posted on social media, that they were just forced to smile. He was forced to smile, and everybody was supposed to be happy. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, his mother and father were going through a nasty divorce. And it's all done in this, I want to say, it feels like a Bill Sienkiewicz, Dave McKean, David Mack type of art style that is really cool, and it really works for this book. So you almost have this surreal look to it. So as they're coming up with this app, Ben stumbles upon something else, and it's a spark at first, and he's able to control his friends. And the pretty much the test was he's telling them to hold the keys, and then he tells them to let go of the keys. So they do it, and they don't remember doing it. They're all sitting around going, what's going on? And that's how this starts. That's the first issue. So by the time you get to the second issue, they keep trying out this new thing that he found. And they ask him to light his butt on fire. Pretty much controlling people's bodies and controlling their mindset, if you will. Hence the title. So as the series goes on, we meet other characters like Hannah Atlanta here, who's a model. He falls for her. And then all these things start opening up. People want to invest in their app, their original app, not the one that controls people. And then he realizes, and all 4 of them realize that, wait a minute, are these things really happening, or are we making these things happen? Are we the ones that are in control? And when did the control start? Who's controlling who? So it's this whole mystery as to, did he really kill somebody? Did he really kill that millionaire that wanted to invest in his app? Or did somebody control him? Or is it the app? Or was it really him just using the control method as a scapegoat? This is one of those mysteries that, oh my gosh, I was so confused, especially when they're talking about the loops. But when I kept coming back to it, I was like, okay, but what's going to end up happening? And what the message at the end, I will say it's not really the most hopeful one. It kind of leaves it open to like, that's humanity for you. But I really enjoyed it. This is all 6 issues collected in here. I will say all 3 books are probably mature rating, mainly because of the language and some nudity in them. Yeah, they're all basically because of language and in adult situations from time to time. But this is what the art looks like. Let's look at the back here for some extras. So here are all the covers to the different issues, and I believe there's just main covers, and then there might be, variant covers. 184 pages, retailing for $19.99. All 3 books have the same kind of build. It's this thick, glossy paper that they're using for the paper stock. And, yeah, the soft cover, which I actually I've always liked the finish to these particular books. It has like a non-glossy finish. But that, as they say, is that. And that was your advance overview of all 3 of these books. So thank you again to the folks at Vault Comics for sending us advance copies of these 3 graphic novels. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions or comments about the artwork or the stories, what kind of piqued your interest. I would love to know all that, so leave your comments down below. Smash that like button on the way out. And everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.